Recall, review, ramble, Gallus.
You'll see I put a special effort into this one. I gave it black text. Sorry, black screen, red text. That's only for one slide. But
like I done a black screen with white text for the happy girl too.
So you had a whole cold open planned for this misery related podcast. But what's more miserable? Lying in a bed, ridden, being kidnapped by a deranged, psychopathic fangirl woman who then puts a bit of wood between your legs and decides to go sledgehammery, or being on a Scotrail train for over an hour and 2 hours, not moving.
I'd have to say the Scotrail. That was...
Is that a bit of recency biased, or...?
Maybe just a little.
What a time to be
I'm
alive.
never going on a Scotrail train again.
Yeah,
Except when I'm going home the night.
Exactly.
We don't talk about that.
That's the thing, they can get away with being bucked in the head because we have to use them.
But it's not even that, it's literally the fact that they kept us hostage for a good hour and 40 minutes to 2 hours to then say, go off the train at Newton on air. Just to that in the first place.
Yeah, just...
Full disaster averted. I could have got here at least 12:30.
Yeah, we're running a few hours behind, which means we're going to speedrun some slides, which means we're going to speedrun a few more slides, which means we're going to miss out on a pint. And if Scotrail costs you a pint, they surely have to owe you one in the future.
Exactly. Oh, turns out my friend, I told him about it and he sent me a form, so I should be able to get a refund.
But if you get a refund, it doesn't matter anymore.
No.
Because what I love about shit like that, like see when you get like stuck on a train for an hour, it's one of those, it's awful in the moment. But see in like a year's time,
It would be so funny.
it's such a good story.
I can just picture me and you like doing something
Absolutely.
in like a year from now. And we're like, oh, I remember that time you got stuck on a job gap.
Absolutely.
We don't talk about that. The worst day of my life.
Misery in the moment, but one hell of a book you're going to write, Paul. And that is a transition into my original cold open. You were driving home late one night and your car broke down. A local nurse named Emily was driving by and offered to take you to use her phone to call for help. After agreeing to go back to her house, you quickly realise that she is not as innocent as she first seemed. You try to leave Emily's house and realise that you have been locked in. You discover that you are not her first victim and begin to uncover clues left behind by the author she previously kidnapped. She has trapped you in her home and left to run for some errands. You have 60 minutes to escape before you discover how far she will go to keep you there.
Sounds good.
Now that is the description of an escape room in Glasgow titled Misery.
Well, after this, in the misery I've been through the day, we need to do the escape room at some point.
The escape room is an Escape Reality. Escape Reality is a company that went under because their boss was financially doing some things that he really should not have been doing and was in significant amounts of debt. So the escape room unfortunately closed about a month ago.
That sucks.
It was a 2-star rated difficulty, but looked like it could have been very good.
That does actually look good.
I'm gutted I never got to play the Misery escape room. It's got it had so many positive reviews, but it now no longer exists. I mean, I guarantee you the game was shite, but
With so many good reviews, though, how could they be
they're
so
all
shite? But yeah, it
robots.
sounds good.
They're all robots.
It does look catchy.
I find it fascinating that there was an escape room about the film Misery. That's such a genius idea.
Actually, that's quite clever.
Anyway, what I love most about Escape Reality, it doesn't exist anymore. Give me 20 seconds, this hasn't connected. Feel free to continue ranting about the state of train stations or escape rooms.
Well, basically, it's the first time I've ever been trapped on a Scotrail train, or a train in general. And then the conductor came round and said, Luke, we don't know what's going on, we'll update you soon. Second update was like 20 minutes later. We're waiting for people to come, so we're waiting for them to come to cables. Then, like an hour later, there's a train coming from Yoker to come and help you. Fucking Yoker, man, an hour away. And then they turned around and said, Luke, just go with the train, that'll be another train to come and collect you soon.
What is Yoker?
But fuck knows.
One of those bus names that you just see And you think, do people actually live
In Yoker.
in Yoker?
We thought Irvine was bad. What kind of name is Yoker?
So you got on the bus one day, and when you were about to get your benefits, I mean, you see you're on the Yoker bus, you're small talking the people around on the Yoker bus, and you pass the hairdresser's Les Porter.
Yeah.
It rhymes with Yoker. You say to a local, oh no, they've caught you, you're not one of them. So you get off the bus, you put one foot in Yoker, you go for a quick cigarette. The bus going back is leaving in 5 minutes. You've got 5 minutes to do the most important thing you can do in Yoker, which is
Smoke your cigarette.
And-
Get your benefits.
and run
And
to
run
the
to the
hairdressers
hairdressers.
to ask Les Porter himself
Yes.
if
The
your
Les
name
Porter.
always rhymed with Yoker. They look back at you blankly. You run back to the bus, you get on the bus, and you make it home safe.
And then you tell your folks how your day out in Yoker was. And what do you say? How was it? Awful. Or was it?
What is the payoff to that sketch? This is a fucking side tangent to kick off this. I hope you're enjoying this, Mika's mother who requested this. This was a request movie to talk about. I promise we will get to the movie,
Yes.
but we've got more important things to...
Who requested it?
Mika's mother.
Ah, hi Mika's mum.
And that is to... We're not going to watch all 6 minutes of the sketch, but it's to see how it ends. That's what could have happened with the train right here. They could just have put you in the train that was right behind you.
Genuine.
See.
Why does it look like a stoned Lewis Capaldi?
Yoker.
Yeah, man.
Yoker news agents, Yoker post office, Yoker FC, Yoker everything. Even had a barber that rhymed with Yoker, hair by Les.
Les Porter.
What are the chances of that? Yeah, one big question on everybody's list.
Are you Les Porter?
Les Porter. Aye. Is your name always rhymed with Yoker, or did it used to be like Smith or something? No. And then I thought, Dee, you just blowing your cover. Big time. Fuck you playing it, man. Go. Go out there before they started chucking their scissors. It was like ninja stars. 4 big Les scalped us upstairs, right under the seat. Then he dare pulled my head up for the next half hour in case I was going by in a minibus, gasping the face.
Quality content.
Zombie pirates. Picks a moment, up the road, up the stairs,
In the door.
house. Walk. Scary, man. Scary.
I've got an interesting question for you. What would you say looks worse or is worse? Port Glasgow, where unfortunately that's where I live.
I know very little about
Or Yoker.
Yoker. I've never been personally, but it's better than Port Glasgow.
What's worse? Irvine.
Here we have the misery trailer for the escape room. Shot by UWS student Ryan. Oh, he got a Dutch angle. She's
She's gonna kidnap Paul.
she's got high heels on. She's a sexy kidnapper. I stick by what I said.
Yep.
How do you get cast in something like this? Casting call. Be in this trailer for an escape room. Locations, too many.
Successful? Unfortunately not.
Role, be sexy and us.
You use every typewriter here.
Must bring own typewriter.
Oh, she's drugging his tea.
He's been tea drunk.
Hey, I bet like what just happened to me.
That was a good shot. Oh, bondage
You
is
must
happening.
find a way.
It's gone bondage.
Oh, she got a hammer.
I imagine the escape room doesn't look much better than that empty room.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive when this escape room ran. An escape reality. it's probably the best thing you can do.
That looks so amazing.
Just quickly accept the risk. Anyway, it's not only an escape room misery, but it's a Broadway stage play.
Do you know, I actually came across something like
Yes.
that as well.
Oh, it's gold. Did you come across the best lineup for the cast?
It was maybe Julia Roberts, it was maybe.
They
playing
had
it.
so many
she
amazing
was meant to be
lineups for
playing
this cast, but in 2015 to 16, they had a run which starred Bruce Willis,
Yep, Bruce Willis and
Laurie Metcalf,
Laurie Metcalf, who played Sheldon Cooper's mum in The Big Bang Theory, and Mrs. Loomis in Scream 2.
Scream 2 killer.
Like, when I came across that, I was like, no
That's
fucking way, that
amazing.
is cool.
Why does that exist? Why are they not doing it in Britain? Can I go see Misery in Britain?
I would love to see Laurie Metcalf and Bruce Willis play the iconic roles of Annie Wilkes and Paul Sheldon.
No, it'd be Misery but Scottish, unfortunately. So it'd be like, who's a kind of shitey Scottish actor? Capaldi. And he's brilliant, but like big man Capaldi rocking up now. Nicola Sturgeon, she could be the villain. Oh, that's a film right there. Anyway, hi, I'm Ryan. Welcome to RRR. I'm joined today by the one and the only
Michael, hello.
And today we're going to be reviewing Misery.
Because that's what I feel like I'm in right now.
It's alright, hopefully in talking about Misery we can bring some liveliness back to your depressed state after the events of the bus.
Yes.
And the best way to undepress someone is to talk about psychopaths and murder,
Now you're talking about my
child killers. Oh, I've got my on this slide. It says hello, I am, and I am. That's the bit we just did. So that was the I am.
Wow.
And then it says subscribe, like, comment, review, and promote. That's me done that. How you been? What you been up to aside from train related shit?
I've been good, just plodding along. Got a job interview tomorrow, so
Exciting.
fingers crossed to get that. Although it's in Glasgow for, and I stay in Port Glasgow.
You're not going to get a job in Port Glasgow, and B, you don't want a job in Port Glasgow.
And C, you're probably right. And D, I got told the only job that is in Port Glasgow is McDonald's, and I've literally had that McDonald's like twice, and every time the chips are either too greasy or the food's always cold. Do not, under any circumstances, come to Port Glasgow. It is.
You could bring change
shithole.
to the Port Glasgow McDonald's, because see if you last more than a month in McDonald's, you become a manager.
Literally.
So you could become a manager in the Port Glasgow McDonald's, and you could degrease the chips.
That is true, because the chips are always so bloody greasy. How many times have you been in any McDonald's and you literally order fries and they either come too oversalted, too greasy, or cold?
I don't know. I don't eat McDonald's.
That's a question for all you. Comment below.
That's actually the most important question of today.
Yes.
Have you ever been fucked by Scotrail?
And how greasy have you had your McDonald's chips?
Have you ever been fucked by greasy McDonald's chips?
And if you have been fucked by Scotrail, just like I have, please comment below and let us know how bad your situation was, because it couldn't be worse than mine. Fuck Scotrail.
And we've been over this. You could have been A, trapped in the toilet for the hour, or B, you could have been on that train with greasy McDonald's chips. There is many ways it could have been worse.
Yes. But then, my phone nearly broke. The charger said the hoodlock was in it. And then my hot drink that I had in my flask, or my travel mug, fucking fell at the side of my bag and is drained at the side of my bag and got my notepad wet, and God even knows how my laptop looks. It's not been a good day.
It's thriving.
It's been a bad day for me.
Your laptop's thriving.
Yes.
I had a lovely time at a Lana Del Rey concert recently.
Oh yeah, how was that?
I decided to rep it with the hoodie.
Oh yeah,
It
very
was
nice.
brilliant. Myself and Brian went up. We went to the merchant for a few drinks beforehand, which is the best way to start a day out. And I enjoyed Glasgow on that night because it was just littered with women dressed identically. Yeah. Oh, white dress, brown boots, white dress, brown boots, white dress, brown boots, white dress, brown boots. Yeah,
I'm
Brian was
sensing
the
a
best
trend
looking
here.
one of them. And we had our little seated tickets because I am a cheapskate, and that was a very expensive concert. And also we don't like people. Why would we want to stand with lots of people? So we enjoyed our seats. Had a very good view because venues are normally quite good at seats having good views, because otherwise, what's the fucking point? And oh yeah, she was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that's good.
Absolutely.
I've heard a few people say when they've seen her live that she's really good.
Oh, her voice carries, and it carries weight
Yeah.
to it as well. There's not a single person in that building that did not want to be there, essentially. It was great. The breakdown of like gender had been 90% females, 5% gay,
And
gay men.
5% normal males.
And I would say it then becomes 5% boyfriends, fathers, or unwilling participants that have a soft spot for Lana. My
Yeah,
favourite
they don't want
category
to.
was the dads. The dads that took their kid because their kid wasn't too old enough to go themselves, and
That's
they just had a field day because Lana is fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
And she finished on Take Me Home Country Roads. Which was
Oh, that
what a
would have
song.
been nice. You know, can that be country roads? Do you know my twin brother? He's a big fan of Lana Del Rey. And I'm sure he's seen her quite a few times. I'm sure he's seen her. Maybe I'm not sure if it was Ireland
Hey,
or something, but he's seen her
love to Dublin.
a few places. And that, you know, so it's some.
Hamden was fun.
Like, I would love to go to Ireland at some point. Never been
Oh.
there.
Ireland's where you want to be. That's where you want to be at. There is nothing better than Ireland. I can't imagine going to a concert in Ireland. That's on my to-do list. Is next time I want to go to a concert, look and see what their Irish dates are. Because when we got to Dublin, we were on the bus, and I was like, it'd be kind of funny to just kind of Google see what concerts were on tonight.
As you
Catfish
do.
and the Bottomans on tonight. Maybe. Who's on tomorrow night? Charlie XCX.
Oh, Charlie XCX.
That was grim. Because that meant when we went to Spoons for a pint, because you've got to try the only non-British Spoons, it was just littered with women not wearing clothes. That was weird.
Yeah.
That was really weird. We were deeply uncomfortable. I just was trying to enjoy my half pint of Blue Moon followed by my half pint of Starapram with my shortbread. It wasn't shortbread, it was in Ireland, it was cookie.
Two very good
Drinking
drinks.
cookies. Alright, so I'm at the bar in this Dublin place, and I'm like, right, can I have a half pint of Blue Moon and a cookie? Oh, I'm a boneless basket. Cookie. Basket. Biscuit. What if I try an Irish accent? Will this help? Can I have a cookie? I was barely Irish, which is probably quite accurate to what I did to the man. And he was like, do you want a boneless basket? I'm like, you taking the mick here? He was then like, what? And I was like, cookie. Can I have white chocolate cookie, dark chocolate cookie? Those things all there. I start pointing at them. He's like, oh, biscuit. And I was like, yes. So he hands me these, and he was like, so that's biscuit, boneless basket, half pint. Don't want a boneless basket. I just don't want a boneless basket.
You just wanted a cookie
Yes.
and a half pint.
But it's alright because eventually I did not get a boneless basket. There was no fun payoff to that. Anyway, that's enough boring admin of what we've been up to. Let's talk about the movie actually. It's been fucking 30 minutes. Generally summarising the movie, what is the movie about? What happens in it? You've got an author and he's writing a book called The Misery Series. He's got many of these books and he's quite annoyed because he doesn't want his career to just be misery. He wants to move on to do something else.
And then he wants to write something else, but he doesn't want to ruin his reputation, so that's why it took him so long to try and come up with another idea for the book. And then when his book was ready to come out and sale, things happened. And
Boy gets into a car crash, and then Mysterious Woman 5 comes and saves him. She's his biggest fan, she will tell you. And
she will not let you forget it.
oh, you do not forget Miss Annie.
Miss
you can tell a character is good when they have their own Wikipedia page.
Oh.
Like Annie Wilson, or whatever her name is, as a character, has her own Wikipedia page. That's brilliant. Like obviously Pennywise has one, etc. But like this random, just non-superhuman creature villain, just woman, has her own Wikipedia page. Oh, that's fascinating.
Because you wouldn't think that one person from a movie would be so fascinating, but boy, believe me, if you haven't seen the movie, watch it. And you'll understand why Miss Annie Wilkes has her own Wikipedia page because she deserves it. Or does she?
Yes.
I think she does.
She probably wrote her own Wikipedia page.
Wouldn't be a surprise.
In the style of Paul Shelton. So she's blah 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 blah. She's mad. She sees the ending of this book, realises he's killed off her character, and this breaks her. So she decides to break him. Mentally first, then physically. And once she's done breaking him, he breaks her. Movie ends. She's dead, or is she? Tune in next week.
You'll find out.
Classic Stephen King. Speaking of Stephen King, It's based obviously on Misery by Stephen King, which was released, I think the book was released 3 years before the movie came out. What's your thoughts on Stephen King in general?
I mean, I like him. He's done a lot of good horror stuff, like obviously The Shining and stuff, so he's done a lot of really good strong stuff in that. But when I found out that he actually wrote Misery, I didn't actually know that until obviously when I was doing the research and stuff, and then when I found out he wrote Misery as a book, and then it got made into a movie adaptation. But then they were actually saying that they were actually asking him if he wanted to direct the movie, but he said he didn't want to do it because they didn't know if it was going to be a major success or not, and he wasn't really sure about how they could make the book adaptation, if it was going to make the movie better than the book, or if it was going to make the book just seem kind of cheap and that. But yeah, I like Stephen King. He's done a lot of good work over the years.
Absolutely.
He's got a lot of really big hits and selling books and that. I'm not much of a reader.
If it's like a horror movie from the period of the 80s through to the 2000s, and it's not a slasher, Stephen King probably wrote the book it's based on.
Yeah, he did do a lot.
I've never read a Stephen King book, and I would like to, because from what I've learned about Stephen King, he's mental. And the joke always was he couldn't write an ending. He'd write amazing books and then just kind of fuck up the ending. So that's why normally the ending gets tweaked in his films. I don't know. What's your favourite Stephen King movie? Because I've seen a lot of Stephen King movie adaptations. He did Pet Sematary as well, I think.
Yeah, he's done Pet Sematary. I like quite a lot of these movies and that. I didn't really enjoy the 1997 I think
right, Tim Hurley.
I feel like it was good, don't get me wrong, it was a great movie and that, the acting was good, and like Tim Curry and stuff, so it had a lot of good actors and stuff, but it was just a wee bit before their time.
Aye.
I would say.
If I was growing up in those days.
Yeah, like growing up in those days. Now I know people that said that when they seen that movie originally, it genuinely did terrify them.
Yeah.
And stuff. But like, I really liked the 2017 version of it, because I feel like the Pennywise was good. They had a lot of like good actors and that, and I felt like the ending of the first one was good. And
you brought back a core memory.
And I can. People say I can do a really good Pennywise impression.
Well, if there's a time and place, it might be now.
Alright, I'm Pennywise the dancing clown. Would you like a balloon?
Yes.
Don't go buy some.
Fuck you, Pennywise.
Nah.
You open your mouth, you charge at me. Do you know what you're getting? Fish right through it. That weird bit when he like opens his mouth and comes towards folk.
Yep. I'll just do what he does to Georgie. Bite off your little arm.
Come on, have a go if you think you're hard enough, Pennywise.
Me and you outside.
I could beat Pennywise quite easily.
Oh no, he's
because I'm all talk and no fight, and that's how you beat Pennywise. You just call him a little bitch boy.
You call him a bitch boy, you're a fucking little pussy.
Aye.
And then he melts to the ground and dies.
Exactly.
I mean, I loved it, but the ending, come on to fuck, man.
No, that is so good. Anyway, why is the sequel 3 years long?
Anyway,
I went to see the sequel in the cinema, actually. That was a good night. I remember we bumped into a bunch of old mates of ours in the same screening, and we were like, oh, wow, that's just really funny. We all joined up after we went a mad walk. But at chapter 1, that's a core memory.
Yeah.
I would have been 14 when that came out on DVD. Was it 15? That is the first movie I ever bought underage. Went into HMV nervously with it in my hand, just kind of really wanting to see this movie, seeing so much online about it, handing it to the guy, just praying he wouldn't ask to validate my age. He has a look at me. He has a look at my pals. And he's like, is this for you? And I'm like, yes. He's like, all right. Implying that he did not believe my pals were 15, but he believed that I was.
And you were 13?
I was 14. 14. I got my It Chapter 2 Blu-ray, and I nervously left the shop, elated. We all went round mine, put it on. It was a good time.
Sounds like a good story.
It was a good time. It was just a memory that came back to my head. Stephen King, he's obviously got the big hitters.
Yeah.
Is a movie based on Stephen King's book, and The Shining might be the best, but my favourite Stephen King movie adaptation.
Go for it. What is it? Misery.
Maximum. Misery is a
Misery
very
is
good
good,
show.
but that's not a horror, so.
It is a horror, then, in a way.
Horror, Mr.
Maximum Overdrive.
Do you know? I've heard of that, but I've never actually watched it.
Maximum Overdrive, right? So there's some bullshit that happens in the world, and all machines become sentient.
Okay.
You'll just be walking down the street and this lawnmower has gained sentience, mowing down pedestrians. Guns, which is not how they work, get sentient, start flying and shooting people without being manned. And we center ourselves in a truck stop in the States, a bunch of people trapped in this truck stop, and all of the trucks gain sentience. One of them just has the Green Goblin's face on the front of it. He's like the lead villain. Planes are kamikaze into shit.
It sounds like a movie version of Grand Theft Auto.
It's what happens when I'm playing GTA.
What happens when I play GTA?
Go straight to that director's mode. Let's cause havoc.
Yep, like cops turn blind eye, go and fucking destroy shit.
I've never played GTA until it was at Centre Parks, and one of us brought an Xbox console, so we're just dicking about, and myself and my pal Daniel, who never played the game before, just started seeing what the funniest shit we could do was. Like putting on the director's mode and just blowing up cops with a punch. That was quite fun.
Oh, that's always fun. Was that GTA 5?
I have no idea.
Ah.
Brings up the question though, what will happen first? Will Willie Wassell's Sports Bar and Restaurant fix the men's left hand dryer? It's not been working for like 8 months. Or will GTA 6 release?
Comment below, let us know. I think that would be more of a priority, and you think they would get that done sooner. But GTA is underway, and as possible that could come out. Hey, you never know. Maybe GTA 6 will come out before they fix that fucking train.
Legend has it the train is still sat at Newton on Air.
Wouldn't even be a surprise.
I've got a wee article here I want to read a wee bit about how Stephen King's real life inspired misery in surprising ways.
That's
I feel like that'd be a good article to kickstart us off with. Is there any kind of bit that where should we go for? Yeah, we'll go for here. The setup for misery is both simple and iconic. Paul Sheldon is kept captive by a woman, Annie Wilkes, who claims to be the author's #1 fan, as she'll tell you. She's a fan of the Misery series, but did not like what the author did to her favourite character as he killed her off in the most recent book. Well, this is something that certainly is a personal topic for King, who has surely got numbers of critiques and complaints from fans of his different stories. The connections go even deeper. In the past, King had said explicitly that Annie Wilkes represents cocaine, and furthermore, she is cocaine. What a quote. This not only highlights his own struggles with addiction, but shows how seductive and the quality of drugs can make someone feel that they can accomplish something like writing a novel, even under duress. Whilst the twisted relationship between Annie and Paul has been described as everything from Stockholm Syndrome to a dark romance to downright torture, it could be argued that all of these are correct. King's relationship with the character of Annie comes through in Paul's character. Paul humours Annie to write Misery Returns, even though he seems to know, with quite a fair amount of certainty, that completing the book will make him no longer useful to her. She'll have the ending she wants, and she won't need to keep him around. Yes, Misery also contains parallels to the struggle many writers experience with self-doubt and how they turn to substance abuse to compensate. This is marketed by Paul's drinking addiction to painkillers. The relationship between Annie and Paul's changes. That doesn't make any sense. I'm going to stop reading that one. Paul is definitely not in a good situation being in that captive state and all the constant looming threat of physical harm and even death. But he ends up being more productive because of the state he is in. When placed next to King's prolific ability to produce misery and other stories, it puts things in perspective that the author has truly given fans a gift. Even if at times he did suffer for his art, just as Paul did throughout the movie.
Sounds interesting.
The parallel to the drugs and Annie being cocaine feels like it's way too personal as A, not a writer, and B, not a sportsman or someone that takes drugs, for example. So I can't drag a relation to it.
Do you know the name of the drug that he was actually trying to give her? Not that she was actually trying to give her. It was Novril, which he became highly addicted to, and it is what Annie was using to threaten and manipulate Paul in the film. So it's because obviously when he opens up the house and that, it's the stuff inside that he was getting addicted to, and that was what was making him ill and that and stuff. So obviously when he takes the tablet and then he tries to drug on that, but that was what was keeping him weak, and that was how he was too strong to let her, not to stop her from manipulating him in the movie. And then that's
Did you catch the name of the director?
Yep, the name of the director was Director was Rob Reiner.
Rob Reiner, what a guy. Rob Reiner's filmography borders on insane. I had no idea how many like category A films this man has done. This is Spinal Tap, was his first movie. His next movie, Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, 40 years later. What a time to be alive. He did this short thing, Stand By Me.
Oh,
he was the
that is a great
director of,
movie.
based on a Stephen King book.
Oh,
Called,
surprise.
like, Body or something. I've got it up somewhere. The Princess Bride.
What?
When Harry Met Sally. This man is just ticking off banger after banger after banger. And he followed up those movies with Misery, A Few Good Men, North, The Story of Us, Alex and Emma, Rumour Has It, The Bucket List.
So many good movies.
What a run of movies this man has had. And Stephen King, he only wanted the movie to be made if it was Rob Reiner that was the director. He didn't want to do it. He didn't want it to be made if it was anyone else. He really liked how he adapted Stephen King's short story, The Body, into Stand By Me. So he was like, right, has to be you, Rob. And Reiner, he was inspired by Alfred Hitchcock, because aren't we all? Because Hitchcock is the master of suspense, and there's nothing that Misery is if not a suspense movie. If you told me Alfred Hitchcock directed Misery, I'd believe you.
Yep.
It seems like the kind of thing he would craft or write.
Yep.
In a sense, the cinematography is equally as amazing.
I never got the cinematography for this one.
Barry Sonnenfeld. In this film, there's lots of like wide angles and point of view and tracking shots. It's slow and perfect. It's got a great pace. But Barry Sonnenfeld, right? He's a filmmaker and also cinematographer at times. He's in acting and all that. But he directed the Addams Family movie.
Oh.
But the thing that I love the most about this cinematographer of Misery is he's also the director responsible for the Men in Black trilogy. you cannot knock that. You cannot knock that. And he also appears in pretty much all of his Men in Black movies.
Yep.
It did incredibly well for awards, with winning the Academy Awards for Best Actress. Kathy Bates, is it? Yeah, Kathy Bates was able to do that. Best Actress. She won 4 Best Actress awards in the year it was released.
Yep. And there was also Golden Globe Awards, and it was Golden Globe Award for the Best Actress in Motion Pictures Drama in 1991, Academy Award for Best Actress in Leading Role 1991, and Bram Stoker Award for Best Novel in 1987.
It's a very, very well regarded movie. So well regarded that it is referenced all of the fucking time in other media. Not too many have come to my head when I've tried to compile all this, but there is one episode of The Goldbergs.
Oh, great show.
Brilliant show where Adam Goldberg is a teenager, and his mother, Beverly. Loves him more than any mother has ever loved anything ever, and that terrifies.
It's
pretty much
really
the
scary
entire
how much she
family.
loves him.
Yes.
It's genuinely scary.
So much. So there's an episode, kind of Halloween set, when Adam writes a story for school about this evil smother.
Oh,
big scary
the
mother.
Fucking great episode.
And Beverly finds the script, and she has a few complaints
Yep.
about this script.
Yep.
And she's like, no, I think we should change it to be about a mother who loves her son so much, and you will not leave your room. You will not go out and trick or treat Adam until
you have
you
done this.
write this for me. And she basically traps him. And there's a scene where Beverly goes out at one point, and Adam is like, need to get to Dad. I can sneak out for some trick or treating, but he knocks over the family's Rubik's Cube.
Oh.
And that's how Beverly catches that he was out, as they basically just do a parody of Misery. Perfect.
What else can you want?
Perfect. I was very surprised to realise that The Simpsons hadn't done it in their trios of horror-themed episodes. I could have, for a certain, Bart Simpson and Marge. That
there's so
dynamic
much,
would have
yeah.
done it. You mentioned, was it Family Guy or something? That
Family Guy, they done a version. Yep, so, when I was watching the film, I thought, I'd never actually seen the film until recently. Then when I was watching it, and I haven't watched Family Guy in years, and then I thought back to an episode when Stu dressed up as Annie, and Brian was Paul. And you know how Stu's got a weird obsession with Stu loves Brian. So they went, so Stu being Annie and that tortured Brian again. Poor Brian, man, he always gets beat up by Stu. So he breaks his legs by shooting him in the side of the
Nice.
gun. Then he breaks his foot by dropping something on it. And then he buys him a typewriter, but instead of the way the movie ends and that, Stu gets a typewriter and throws it at Brian. It's so fucked up.
The Family Guy way.
You know, they've all got to do it. Seth MacFarlane does that shit all the time.
So that's two examples that we can think of when misery was referenced in other media.
No, I said MacFarlane. I was going to say Seth MacFarlane.
Easy. But it is a tale as old as time. Obsessed fan holds hostage the creator. Classic story.
Yeah.
Almost as classic as the creator denies the love of a fan, and that fan goes on to become the villain.
Oh,
It is a tale that is in literally every. It's the plot of The Incredibles. It is the plot of Iron Man 3. It's the plot of a lot of superhero movies. Is, oh, I'm a fan of you, superhero. Superhero ignores them, so they kidnap the superhero. It's classic storyline, but I think this very well might be the best use of it. In Misery. Misery is a movie that I used to watch a lot as a child.
yeah.
It was recorded on the recorder. Losing my mother and my father. I was
Yeah.
watching it one night and I found it one day when, who knows, probably my gran was over or something. She was downstairs doing grand things and I was upstairs playing with my wrestling figures or whatever I was doing, and I'd watch it kind of on loop for maybe 3 weeks. You know that kind of phase when you were kids and you just looped certain movies.
Yeah.
That wasn't the best one. My best one was Cars 2. I think it was a year straight I watched Cars 2 daily or some bullshit.
Mine was Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
That is one of my favourite movies ever made.
Yeah.
Especially as a child.
That was such a good movie.
I think we had the conversation.
We had the conversation because I watched our Big Daddy podcast recently. If you haven't watched that, watch it.
About her own Ferris
Yeah,
Bueller's
about
Day
one
Off.
of Ferris Bueller's and that.
Very
Because I was
good.
watching it and I was like, I forgot we spoke about that because it was so long ago.
Yeah, that was a good replay.
Yeah.
That was a great day. Actually.
So that was a fun day. Yep, so there was Ferris Bueller's Day Off and then Brave. Disney's Brave.
Brave's a great movie
Yeah,
until the ending.
I used to love it. And then I know the ending was quite...
I love the
was,
opening,
the movie was so strong, but the ending was a wee bit weak.
especially to me as a child.
Yeah,
And Scott.
yeah. You wanted so much more for the ending. But Merida with the curly ginger hair.
Anyway, just some more quick readings before we get on to the plot.
Alright.
Stephen King himself stated that Misery is one of his top 10 favourite film adaptations of his stories. In his 2009 collection, Stephen King Goes to the Movies. In his 2000 memoir called On Writing a Memoir of the Craft, King referenced the movie adaptation, saying, in the early 1980s, my wife and I went to London on a combined business pleasure trip. I fell asleep in the plane and had a dream about a popular writer. It may or may not have been me, but sure to God it wasn't James Caan. In 2003, Annie Wilkes was ranked number 17 on AFI's 100 Years, 100 Heroes and Villains list.
Yeah,
The
I got that
hobbling
as well,
scene
yep.
in the film of which Annie breaks Paul's ankles with a sledgehammer was ranked 12 on Bravo's 2004 programme, the 100 Scariest Movie Moments. That is insane.
That is insane.
The 12th most scary movie moment being the hobbling scene. It is such a well done scene that it is, you don't see much, but it is atmospherically, oh God.
Yep.
In 2009, and Christian Eggleston of Bloody Disgusting ranked Misery 4th place on his list of the top 10 claustrophobic horrors. That's a very good place for that. It's such a well received movie. But this is where Wikipedia went off the rails and really popped me. In 2014, What Culture? What a time to be alive! Ranked Kathy Bates' role first in the top 10 most convincing psychopath performances.
No
First.
clue. No clue.
No,
No.
not What Culture.
Oh, I thought you said guests.
No, What Culture.
Oh.
What Culture is ranked Kathy Bates first
Oh, I read that.
in the
First
top 10
convincing
most convincing psychopath
psychopaths.
performances in
I
any
mean,
movie.
If you've seen the film, it's really...
So
it's
good.
not hard to see
There's
why
a reason
is.
she got the best actress.
Yep, I still think it's hilarious when I watched the film. I had a laughing fit at one scene. Remember I was telling you? Oh, did I tell you?
No.
Oh, basically, you know the scene where they wouldn't give the cock-a-doodle car? You know,
Yeah.
because of how her face just goes pure angry. I literally watched that and I could not stop laughing. I was sitting with Megan, and then she was getting scared because of how much I was laughing. I couldn't stop. And it was, you know, that way when you laugh out uncontrollably,
Oh, yeah.
and it's laughing out of the place.
That's what Misery will do to you.
The tear were rolling into my face, all the way, literally all the way to my neck. Megan literally got scared and had to FaceTime Chloe. So do I get up there? What's he doing? Okay.
Is he okay?
And then she was like, a year out of that, I can't talk, and every time I tried to talk, I just laughed again.
Classic misery. It's not. I'm pretty sure it's not what Ryan or Stephen King intended for that
Oh,
scene.
definitely
you know
not.
what?
But you know, like when you
If
watch the
that's what it
scene,
does.
look out for the scene where she goes. They wouldn't get out of the cockpit out of the car. Watch that scene and come back because you will laugh as well. Maybe not as much as me, but I'm just a psychopath.
Yeah, but not top 10 most convincing psychopaths according to What Culture 2014.
Not
What a
yet.
list. I wonder who the host of that video is. If you wouldn't mind stalling for time, I need to find this video.
Alright, yep. Also, you know, like the people that literally played in the film as well. Have you ever heard of Frances Stenhagen? Because she played Virginia, the sheriff's wife. Richard Farnsworth, whatever the name is, I can't read now. Writing was Buster,
Hey,
the
what a
town
guy.
sheriff. Yep. And I don't know why in the notes I wrote Misery, the pig, a random pig.
Not any random pig. The pig.
Yeah, in the movie, Annie has a pig called Misery. And guess why it's called Misery? Because that's the name of her favourite writer's book. And that's why she gets so annoyed when when Annie gets killed. When Misery gets killed. But something baffles me. In the movie, if not, Annie dies, what happens to the pig? Because you never seen the pig after the scene.
Or all of the other animals
Yeah.
on the farm.
Yep. And also, Annie Wilkes in the movie has BPD, borderline personality disorder, and potentially aspects of celebrity worship syndrome. Yeah. And the
We'll
film,
check it.
yep. In the movie, Paul is held captive for several months by Annie from the late fall, winter, into the spring. That's a good couple of months.
The book is like 5-6 months, I'm pretty sure she holds him captive.
Yeah.
There's a fair few differences from the book that we'll get into after a kind of play-by-play.
Yep. And also, do you know that while I was filming the actual movie, the James Caan, who played Paul Sheldon, he had to actually stay in bed for 15 weeks. 15 full weeks
It's brilliant.
just for filming the movie. Like when I found that note, I was like, oh, that's such fascinating. 15 weeks for filming the movie, he had to stay in the bed for. And do you know that Kathy Bates and James Caan both clashed over their acting methods? The both of them kept on clashing with each other over the acting methods in the movie.
Not surprising, but that also feels as if it can add to the movie.
Yep.
So this film, we're going to go in for a wee different structure. I was trying to hunt down the article and the What Culture one just to see if I recognise the name of the person who wrote it. Ryan Hill.
No.
Don't recognise you, mate. Great name though.
Good name.
I like finding a Ryan
Yeah.
out there. It's funny that he's a writer.
You're a director.
No, I just meant that he's clearly scared of. Like, he's a writer, and he's ranked the most convincing psychopath performance #1 to Annie Bates.
Ah.
Sorry, Annie
It's
Wilkes,
like
because
Annie,
yeah. Anyways, we're going to try something different with this one. We're going to continue like our regular play-by-play, scene by scene breakdown of the movie, but not with a focus on the plot, more of a focus on the characters and how they convey the strength of these characters, and we'll do that through character analysis and key scene analysis more than every scene analysis, purely because I could not be asked to take as many notes on the actual film when I was watching it. I wanted to enjoy it and only take notes relevant to the characters.
Sounds about right. You want to enjoy the movie. You don't want to constantly have to keep writing loads of stuff down and miss out on the enjoyment of the movie itself.
But that means we need to learn a little bit about the casting process for this movie to get into the mindset of the characters. The part of Paul Sheldon was originally offered to
Jack Nicholson. And he initially was offered the role of Paul, but he turned it down because he didn't want to do another movie from Stephen King. Because he didn't want to ruin his reputation from the other Stephen King movie. That was such a big success.
William Hurt, Kevin Kline, Michael Douglas, Harrison Ford, Dustin Hoffman, William Hurt again, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Richard DeFrusis, Gene Hackman, and Robert Redford.
Yep.
Warren Beatty was interested in the role, wanting to have like a less passive character, but he had to drop out in post-production for his film Dick Tracy was extended. But someone suggested James Caan, who agreed to play the part, and he he was attracted by how Sheldon was a role unlike any of his others, and that being a totally reactional character was a wee bit tougher. Angelica Hudson and Betty Midler were both off the role of Annie Wick.
Ben Midler, that would have been really, really interesting, because I watched Hocus Pocus 2 recently.
Oh,
and, you know, like, Ben Midler, she's a great actress.
But just any of these names, Robert De Niro, Dustin Hoffman, Harrison Ford, Al Pacino, what a lineup. They really wanted Richard Hart. According to Ryan, it was Goldman who suggested that Wilkes should play Kathy Bates as a stage actress who was effectively unknown to film audiences. And Billy Bob Thornton auditioned for the role of Sheriff Buster. He was offered it, but the part was cut from the film.
That's sad.
I really like the fact this film has, 5 characters?
Yeah, it's not over the top, and there's no, like, loads of stuff happening.
It's got
just
5 characters.
Yep.
You've got Writer Man, Psychopath Lady, Sheriff, Deputy,
and then Paul's manager.
the agent lady, yeah. 5 characters. And then there's other people that just kind of pop up for a cup of coffee.
And then there's a pig.
There is a pig.
And the pig is fun.
Anyway, Paul Sheldon's played by James Caan, and that is fucking hilarious.
Yep. I've never seen James Caan in anything else other than Elf.
Then you won't understand the gravity of what Misery was for James Caan. He obviously plays the dad in Elf, and that is an absolutely amazing role. But I'm just going to quickly run down some of his films that he was in pre-Misery. Because Misery was a turning point in his career.
Yeah.
El Dorado, Rabbit Run, The Glory Guys, Redline 7000, The Godfather, The Gambler, The Godfather 2. There's a running theme here of mafia-led action movies, isn't there?
Who did he play in The Godfather?
In The Godfather, he played Santino Sonny Corleone.
Oh. Good big role.
I've never seen The Godfather.
Yeah, but
Don't plan on changing that. He was also in Dick Tracy in 1990. But then he played Paul Sheldon in Misery. All of those films, he was very active, you know, piao piao, piao piao, in the plot. Whereas this one, he was lying in a bed for 15 weeks, as you said.
literally.
That was 1990 was Misery. And then his career would kind of chill for a bit before he'd end up in things like City of Ghosts, Dogville, Elf, Get Smart, where he played the president, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. As his career, he got older, went to be more mental. He plays Tim. Who's Tim in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs?
I've not watched that movie in years.
Undercover Grandpa, Queen Bee's Con Man, Fast Charlie. Good lad, this man. Anyway, yeah, he was known for tough guy roles, and he was bedridden, as you said, 15 weeks. That is some working day, though.
Yeah,
like,
just
his
lying
day
in bed.
was just lying
in a bed.
in a bed. Easy.
Getting paid.
Or hard.
Yep.
Did you get the best story about James Caan on set, though?
No.
There was an incident one day where he showed up to work problematically hungover.
Oh, classic.
I suppose when you're acting, you go out for a few drinks afterwards, that's just part of it. But if you're lying in bed all day, a few drinks must be a fucking shit ton of drinks. So none of the shots or takes from that day could be used. He just wasted an entire day.
Just lying down, like, roughly.
Rough as fuck, lying in bed. Wouldn't surprise me if he fell asleep at some point. But can you imagine?
I would have loved that role like that, you know, just lying in bed all day getting paid.
Anyway, he did offer to pay and compensate for the money lost because he's a decent enough.
Yeah, because he seems like a nice guy.
In that regard, the film opens on a shot of a cigarette, followed by a glass, followed by champagne, followed by a typewriter. That's 4 shots. I know you've got everything you need to know about the character.
And the movie.
Everything you need to know about the character right there. Cigarette, smoker. That's me now got a sense of who this guy is. Glass. Interesting. Nice glass.
Yep. Nice glass of champagne.
Champagne. Yeah. Interesting. Why has he got champagne? Normal people don't just get champagne, so he must be rich.
Yes.
Or celebrating something. That's 4 shots. And then typewriter. Oh, he's a writer. That's 4 shots that have told me a lot about this guy. He's a bit of an addict whilst as a writer, whilst celebrating something.
Yeah.
I love films that in the opening scene, like the opening 30 seconds, you know everything you need to know about a character.
Yep.
Dirty Harry has my favourite example of this. You've seen Dirty Harry?
Yeah, years ago. Can't really remember it now.
Dirty Harry is kind of, the beaten up cap from the Bronx. We've got a podcast actually about it in the catalogue. It was Callum and Josh did it, but it opens on a shot where Dirty Harry is watching outside this guy set up a snipe. He's been waiting for this guy to come out to set up a sniper to take a shot, and he's smoking. And it cuts from his cigarette to just him putting it in an ashtray, and in the ashtray there's about 15 cigarettes, which just tells you this man has been there for ages and he smokes like a trooper. Boom. Know everything I need to know about this old-timey kind of detective-y guy. That's the same sense I got from this. This was his celebration for completing his story. We'd later go on to learn that this is a ritual that he has. Every single time he completes a story, it's the same champagne, the same glass, the same order.
And the same cigar.
Absolutely, it has to be the same.
It needs to be the same order every time.
Has to happen because something, he's a bit of a superstitious fella, which kind of contradicts the present he has as well. Like you wouldn't expect someone like this to be so superstitious.
Yeah.
The success, the kind of inner built anxiety that the character has about his public perception changing, which is fun when you parallel that with the fact that he's about to do a mad shift in his career. Anyway, it is insanely snowy.
Oh, it's
Like,
so
it is
snowy.
snowing to hell, and he gets a snowball and he throws it at a tree.
Yeah.
And he's like, still got it. Why?
No.
Why does this character that we've just seen celebrate pick up a snowball and throw it at a tree?
Do you know, I didn't actually pick up on that in the movie.
It was a little thing, because I was paying so much attention to specifically the characters in the film, that one I was trying to understand where that trait came from. Now, I can't figure out a way to tie into the movie, but in the book, he used to be a baseball player. So like throwing, well, like the guy that threw a ball,
maybe
like bonk, or cricket, or whatever the fucking American. I think it's baseball's the American one.
Or maybe that's why he's getting the snowball then. It's maybe like, since obviously he's right, and this one instead of baseball, he's just trying to get you batting. That would make more sense, instead of just picking up a random snowball and just launching it at a tree.
It shows though he's got a bit of a fun side to him. He is not just serious writer. He is serious writer with a wee bit of charm. The red misery title card appeals to upbeat music as he drives through the snowy mountains, and the weather is
horrible. Such a big snowstorm, man.
Which tells you and makes you ask the question, why is he so insistent on making this journey? This is a journey you should not
be doing,
take.
Especially if it's that.
The weather is awful. Just chill. You've just had champagne, you drink driving fuck.
And you've just celebrated right now. You're drinking champagne, then you go and fucking drive a motor. Get your shit together, you cunt.
Exactly. So it means this book and this particular case that he's put his book in means the world to him, and he has to do this tonight because this is his celebration. This is his ritual. He checks out. It
has to happen. That's nice.
Afterwards.
Can't happen after midnight because then it won't mean the same.
Absolutely.
Has to be
He's
that
got
day.
to get to his agent, and then obviously he crashes the car and it rolls down a snowy hill.
Because he's a drunken driving fuck.
Yes, the car is lying completely upside down, and that's when we get answers to why he's insistent on making this journey, and as to why he is desperate to look after the bag that he has. We cut from the upside down car to his treasured bag. So it cuts to the bag. It means a lot to him. This is the bag he carried his first book in, and he's carried every book he's ever wrote in because he's very, very superstitious.
Yeah.
His first book was called Misery's Child.
Yep.
And in this one, the new one, he's killing her off. And he says the quote, "If I can make this work, I might just have something I can write on my tombstone."
Yeah, that is a very good quote.
Interesting.
Yep.
Whilst the car crash was happening, you also had the opening credits just appearing in red text. That was, 4 minutes? And I know everything I need to know about this character for the rest of the film. I know he's superstitious. I know he's got a bit of a kind of smoking problem. I know he's routinely superstitious. Things have to happen. He can't accept change, but he's now forcing himself into changing his trajectory by killing off this character because that's the only way he can do it. He can't just stop. He has to end it.
Yep, he has to end it so they can move on to bigger things and bigger books.
When he's in the car crash, he's trying to save the folder for the book. It's all these little traits that you're picking up. He had to make this journey because it was part of the plan.
Yeah. Part of the
Essentially.
ritual tradition, yeah.
That's how you set up a character right there. That's
That's a strong opening.
15 cigarettes.
Yep.
And all that was done before the credits finished.
Yeah.
Flawless.
Yeah.
No notes. He's then dragged from a car.
By?
Well, we don't know at this point. It's just a mysterious, miscellaneous
Yep.
body. The bag is picked up and then his fireman's carried away.
Yeah.
And then you fade into just darkness, right? Eyes open shot to just the words, I'm your number one fan. You're going to be just fine. I'll take good care of you.
Yes.
I'm
I'm
going to
a
be your
nurse.
number one fan.
Yes.
And that's a woman standing over him. And as his eyes open, you just see this woman in the distance. It's been 2 days, she says she is a nurse. And with that, we now know she's fucking mental, addicted to his work,
A psychopath.
and a nurse. Yeah.
She's just got that crazy look about her.
Oh, absolutely. She has a cross necklace.
Yeah. So that means she's
Religious.
Yeah.
She's very religious. Interesting, considering where things go for her religion. I always find it interesting when they make these like psychopaths religious.
It's always an interesting take. Let's see.
I find it quite funny political commentary, but at the same time, I'm like, why? Why has it
Right.
got to be religious?
And what's that got to do with the plot of the movie when they say they're going to be religious, but they are in no way, shape, or form
They're almost,
religious
they're almost
at all
too
in the
religious.
movie.
She says the blizzard was too strong for hospital and the phone lines are down, so calling family and that didn't work because of course they're down. Whether they are actually, I think, are they actually down at this point?
I don't
or is she
think,
talking
like,
pish?
I don't think they are, because if they were down, I think initially they might have been down when the storm was actually really bad when I was driving. But 2 days later, the snow isn't
Yeah.
as bad. And she's saying... Oh,
And the policeman uses a phone.
Yeah, and the policeman, literally, so she's saying that the cell phones are down and that, and when they're back up and running, she'll get to an actual hospital and that. But yeah, whether she does or not, you'll find out. But she's clearly lying because, like you said, like the policeman phones from the office.
There's
And
some
that's all.
good uses of filmmaking coming up. We get, she's doing this, she gives him a glass of water, a very particular glass. She
Yeah.
gives him his red pills, just make sure you know these two things.
Yeah.
She gives them it. And then it fades to black to show time passing, implied that this has been going on for a wee while.
Yeah.
We cut back to now him with a glass of water, taking the pills again, fade to black, glass of water, pills, just to
Yeah.
set up that these things, that's the new routine.
Yeah.
And then it means they no longer have to show you Annie giving him these things. You just know that this is what she gives him every day.
Yeah.
Because we've seen it. Boom, boom, boom. He's currently unable to walk and his legs were repaired by her. He is bedridden and his legs look nasty.
Yeah.
All power to this man for surviving this car crash.
Yeah.
The car crash should have killed him.
And because it didn't, he's literally in hell. Genuine.
Scotrail train or this bed.
You decide what's worse.
It's like Doctor Strange in
Uh,
what was it? Doctor Strange in it's the
The
first
Avengers?
Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah,
When he's driving snow, blizzard, because he has to get to
to
this
a location.
and he crashes and the car flips and it causes his hands to nerve
Could that
endings.
have been conflicted through this movie? Could that have been
What I find interesting about the Doctor Strange one is he should have died,
like Paul
but
Sheldon in
there's
this movie?
something like almost Final Destination, right?
Right.
You remember this one? It's a very long-winded side tangent to get to what I want. In the Final Destination, death sets up these convoluted bullshit killing schemes,
Yeah.
implying that death
It's coming for everyone.
is just a guy having a bit of fun.
Genuinely.
So this is also cuts to Deadpool and Wolverine. Seen it?
Oh yeah, I've seen
My
that. I've seen the
favourite-
vintage on it.
My favourite line in Deadpool and Wolverine is when Wolverine's in the car and he's cussing out Deadpool. He calls him a fuck up. He's like, oh, your wife's a stripper. Blah, 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 blah. She doesn't love you. And sorry, you couldn't make a stripper love you, whatever it is.
Right.
And it's God's greatest joke that you can't fucking die.
Like,
take-
that was such a it was a dead sad
That's
scene because
the
of the
line.
way he was literally really gone from that. I genuinely did feel a wee bit emotional for Deadpool. There's that, I'm gonna kill you now.
Yeah,
But
that
was
line,
a great line.
powerful, and that's what I think is Doctor Strange and Paul can Paul in this movie as to why they didn't die. Because death, sentient being that lives over us, Final Destination boss, it's crueler to make them live.
Yeah.
Because Doctor Strange, right? Doctor Strange's everything is being the best surgeon in the world with his hands.
Yeah.
So death made him live, but fucked his hands up, and now he cannot practice the surgery that he used to be able to do. He cannot do it. And that's God's greatest joke for Doctor Strange,
Yeah.
is that the only man that could have saved him and performed the correct surgery was him. But because he was an arsehole, this is forcing him to change for the better.
Right.
Death is trying to help him out, giving him a chance, you could say.
I've never actually seen Doctor Strange. I need to
Very
watch
good
it.
movie.
It's on
Very
my
good
list of stuff to watch.
The same can be drawn for here. Death could have killed him, but would that help him grow and change as a person? No,
No.
because death's on side.
Yep.
Death's on side. Death wants you to be better. Just don't fucking avoid death. You do what death tells you, and then he won't try and kill you. I've got a pitch for the next Final Destination movie.
And I've got a pitch for some podcast related to the Final Destination movies
Intriguing.
to be seen later.
Final Destination has the omnipotent force of death that's trying to kill people, right?
Right.
But it also has this omnipotent force giving people flashbacks to avoid death. So then death has to kill them anyway.
Yeah.
I want to see a fight between death and this omnipotent force that's giving people visions. Who is the person that's giving people visions? Only to let them die in worse ways. I want to see them personified and fight.
Yep. I mean, I really enjoyed the last Final Destination movie that just
That
came
was
out.
fine.
Like,
I like the first 20 minutes.
I like-
really good
like,
opening. And then
I
shit.
really enjoyed the start storyline was good, but then I like the fact that the grandma, like Iris,
Yeah.
managed to actually hold death off for over 30 years. So I like the fact that she
Didn't have a life.
she didn't have a life in that, but I like the fact that she actually did manage to stop death from happening, and then her granddaughter goes and visits her, and then it can down downhill from there.
Yes. Kathy Bates plays Annie Wilkes. Kathy Bates is, she was a relative unknown before Misery, as it said. She was just kind of stage play artist, but she is a face, Annie presence that is something else.
Be interesting fun fact here. Do you know that Stephen King said that Annie Wilkes was his favourite written character because she was always surprisingly right way? No, they could always write different stuff in that, so it was so I wrote here. Favourite character because she was always surprising to write with unexpected depth and sympathy because they never knew where because there's so much she could have done.
She was going to zig, she was going to zag. She was also in Dick Tracy. Intriguing. Then she was in the Titanic.
I thought I knew her face.
She was in The Waterboy. She was in Bruno. Unconditional Love about Schmidt. Rumour has it again, same director.
Yeah.
Uncredited cameo in that. Charlotte's Web.
That's a good movie.
She's in the B movie.
Who was she in the B movie?
Janet Benson, his mother, I think. She was in P.S. I Love You.
No. And it all kicked off from 1991 or 1990s.
No, she had a few films before, but nothing too big. That was her breakout role as like kind of a main character. Midnight in Paris, Bad Santa 2, Complete Unknown, On the Basis of Sex. She was in A Family Affair, Home.
So she's been in a fair amount of
Yeah,
movies.
absolutely.
Fair share of movies. Yep. I also think it's funny that, see the genre for this film, it literally can come under horror, comedy, crime fiction, mystery, action, a crime film, thriller, a dark comedy, a psychological fiction, psychological thriller, or a drama. There's so many stuff it comes under. So
she's a fucking warrior, by the way, Kathy Bates. In 2003, she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer.
I didn't know that.
In 2009, she was like, I'd been in remission for 5 years. In September 2012, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. In 2014, she got lymphemia in both arms. And for that, she started up cancer charities. That's a woman that fights.
Yep, she's a strong woman.
She's still going, she's still acting, she's still appearing at Comic-Con, and she's fought cancer 3 times.
She's not leaving anytime soon.
That is
wild.
That is warrior behaviour. Anyway, so Bates and Reiner, they had a backstory for Annie's character that was never explored in the film, but they just wanted it to be like a reason as to why she was the way she was. So she was abused by her father in her childhood.
Oh, that's sad.
And I get that people like knowing why monsters are the way they are, for example.
Yeah.
But there's something so much scarier about not knowing. Like, would you want her backstory about being abused by her father to be in the movie in the kind of scrapbook sequence?
Nah.
Or would just don't need answers?
Like, it doesn't really see how it would fit into the plot.
Because in that way, she would be identifying that she knows why she's evil.
Yeah.
And it would almost feel like an excuse. When things are just scarier, when you don't have excuses, you are just fucking evil.
Yeah. And obviously, like, now that we know that she was abused, that tells us why she was the way she was in the film. And it takes away the mystery as to why was she like that, or is she just a sociopath or a psychopath for no reason? But then I suppose it could all lead back to her childhood, being abused by her father, and then obviously being so fucked up as it made her fucked up as an adult. And then she thought, let's just fucking torture Paul Sheldon.
Pretty much. I mean, you're writing something now.
Yeah, I'm writing a short horror movie.
And you're learning very quickly that writing is hard.
Yes, it's not easy.
It is very, very, very quite hard. And this movie's quite a good blueprint for character, I think.
Yeah.
Because you have to give a lot about characters, but at the same time you have to hold back so much to leave for people to talk about and think about.
Yeah.
And this movie does that really well. It
does.
shows, it doesn't tell.
Exactly, and it leaves you so
but
many...
then it tells somehow the opposite of what it's showing. And you've got to try and configure out what's true, what's not, who's right, who's wrong, what's morality in relation to this. It's a very well-wrote movie.
Yeah, and it leaves you so many unanswered questions for a good
Absolutely.
thing. That, like, you know, you're thinking, like, why did she do what she done? Why did she not do it? And, like, why did Paul not try and escape sooner? And when there's so much you could ask yourself in this movie.
The house and surrounding area just is beautiful.
Yeah, it's a stunning,
They are
stunning
in
little house.
fuck all nowhere, essentially.
Genuinely, there's literally trees. Nothing else. Trees
They
and a
are
road.
just outside of Silver Creek, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Changed from the book.
No clue.
So the room he's trapped in has nothing in it. It's a bed,
In a wee tiny desk.
2 posters, a stool in the corner for Annie. That's in a window.
Yeah.
That's isolation, right there.
Right.
But the set design could have trapped him. Like, she could have trapped him in the basement.
She could have, and then that way... it would
So
have
why
been
didn't she?
Because maybe she didn't do it because the opposition she could put him down there. And at the end.
Say the policeman came to check a random visit, you could just see through the window.
Yeah.
That's Paul Sheldon.
Ah.
It's almost like she's convincing herself that she's not holding him hostage. This is the right thing
To
for
do it.
him. But also there's the fun twist to that is from a perspective of genuine psychopathy. They're in the middle of fucking nowhere. No one's coming to visit, and if they are, she's just gonna kill them.
Genuinely.
So him lying there in this bed, window, he's trapped. He cannot move. He's literally tied to a bed because his legs do not work, and later on he is actually tied to the bed. But you know what he can see? He can see his freedom. He can see the outside world, but he cannot touch it. He cannot get to it.
And what makes it even worse is she literally locks him in the room.
And obviously the question could be asked, why did he not just break through the window? It's one of those old houses where the windows are like iron bars,
Yeah,
so there is no getting through the window. It's almost like a prison cell that she's left them in as a bedroom. We meet the sheriff, the literary agent of Paul calls him.
Yeah.
Hence we know the phones do work, to be like, where the fuck is he? He always goes to Silver Creek Lodges to finish writing his books.
And no one has heard from him.
Another one of those traditions that he does. The agent's worried, and the sheriff, who gets his lunch delivered to him, he writes in a wee post-it note, Paul. He puts it up on the board, And one phone call is classed as a busy morning for him, implying that nothing ever happens in Silver Creek. And whilst he's having a conversation with his wife who delivers lunch, he's fidgeting with an elastic band.
Yeah, he's like playing with it.
Why?
Maybe a nerve thing, because if you notice that Paul does the same thing in the movie and that as well, so like the both of them are playing there, maybe it's like a stress or an anxiety thing. Maybe.
Weird, I've been fidgeting with a bottle cap this entire time. I find it
I didn't know
interesting.
you were fidgeting with that.
I find it interesting when characters do little traits like this.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's set up, he fidgets with an elastic band, so later on in the movie he uses an elastic band. But that doesn't happen in this. This just must be him fidgeting
Yeah, like a coping mechanism.
with an elastic band for a character reason. Like, for example, Paul throwing up the snowball and throwing it at something. Maybe later on in the movie he throws something at Annie. Doesn't. So these are character traits, not plot traits, which means these are directly either actor related in terms of, like, if I was on set, I probably would just be doing this, and I guarantee you, maybe a director would, we could add that to your character, a little bit of
like a wee bit of fidget
insight into your character, like kind of deal.
Yeah.
Interesting wee thought. Anyway, Sheriff Buster, as you said, Richard Fansworth. Who the fuck is Richard Fansworth?
I never heard of his name until this movie.
Me neither, and I don't recall seeing him in anything.
Yeah.
His first movie was in 1937.
That's probably why.
He was in Gone with the Wind
Oh.
as a soldier. I imagine there's a lot of soldiers. He was in Spartacus, The Stalking Moon.
The Stalking Moon.
Anything I've heard of from a year I was, I don't know, in existence. Independence Day he was in.
Do you know, I've seen that film once in my life and I cannot remember it.
Misery was his fifth last movie.
Oh. What was his last movie?
I have no idea. He died in 2000, aged 80. Died 10 years after the movie was released. Interesting. What an interesting one.
Yeah.
An interesting one. Anyway, this is the best cut in the entire movie. And there's a lot of really good ones. So we've got the sheriff who writes Paul up on the bowl and is fidgeting with an elastic band. And we cut from that, this motion, okay? A motion of movement to a razor right at a throat.
Yep, literally right at the throat. And it's supposing that she's shaving him.
She's shaving him is what it pulls back to reveal.
Yep.
But that is a cut to show she could at any time. Anyway, she just keeps saying that, because she was kind of like following him. She knows that, because she knows everything about him. She knows he always comes up here to finish his books, and she saw that he was getting close, so she kind of was following him. And if she wasn't born, he'd have died, because no one would have found him. And she's his number one fan. She knows all 8 Misery books off by heart, and she calls him baby.
Yeah, and then she literally says that she is his number one fan, and she knows every single thing about Paul, everything about his books. She's collected all of them. She's seen him at his protests. She's seen him at all his big readings. She stalks this poor guy.
She gets his family's numbers to try and call him, and she asks a favour. She saw the new book was in the bag, and she's like, can she read it? And he's like, yeah, you can read it at an early stage. It still doesn't have a title, which is a Stephen King bit, I think, because Stephen King struggled to come up with titles. Hence, he has a thing called It. And he called the book Misery. He called this book Misery based on the fact that there's books in the books called Misery. The Misery books cost, in the sense that the Misery book has inserted chapters from Misery Returns, the book.
Yeah.
So you could be reading the book Misery by Stephen King and then just have an entire chapter of a fictional book that exists within this fictional book. Yeah. What a time to read a book.
I'm you were saying out loud you would like to read this Stephen King.
I just at the same time can't read.
I cannot read to save myself in that.
Exactly.
But I would like to read Misery, the book. See, obviously after watching the movie, I feel like would the book be as good as the movie, or will the movie be better than the book?
I think with this case they're both as good as each other. It'd be a fun one to read. He asks her, what does she think the book's about? She gets excited. Anyway, the lodge man, which is what I've called him, he tells the sheriff that he always orders champagne before he goes, and he drives the same car, the 65 Mustang. He doesn't like change.
Yeah.
I mean, it's intriguing.
Yeah.
It's intriguing that our writer doesn't like change. Okay, this guy cannot do anything about change. But he wants to change everything by stopping the series that made him famous and moving on to more interesting stuff. Annie then spoon feeds him some soup. She's 40 pages in. She doesn't like the swearing in the book. She does not like the profanity. She struggled to get that out. She really struggled to get that out. And then she just goes on this passionate rant about hating the swearing. And then she shouts at him for a bit. Then she spills some soup on the sheets. She overly apologises. She begs for forgiveness. She says, "I love you, Paul." That was fucking weird and an insight into a psychopath.
Especially
How do you insight a psychopath, though?
Oh, who knows that? Especially since she's literally doing that stuff, and then she got, "For God's sake, Paul, look what you made me do." As if it was
Blaming
him.
him.
He was like, the poor guy was just lying in bed, genuinely terrified, cannot move because he's paralysed. And she's sitting fucking pouring roasting hot soup at him, and then blaming him. Like, what the fuck? Psychotic bitch.
Due to the bedridden state, Annie, right, so this is some filmmaking once again. Because he's in bed, right, he's lying, like, what's your knowledge kind of filmmaking techniques? Don't know if they get brought up in courses.
Like, obviously, I know, like, you need to come up with the structure for, like, how you're going to do it. You need to obviously...
Yeah, but in terms of camera.
Or, like, I know that you need to get, like, the... You can do it from, like, the different angles and all that, and you get, like, you can do, like, the high-up shots and, like...
Very basic camera angle shit's about to happen.
Can't remember the name of the camera angles.
So Annie is always framed in a low shot. So the camera is always like this, looking up to Annie, which gives the sense of power and dominance. She's towering over Paul, and anytime we see Paul, we're looking down on him, we're pitying him.
Yeah, that's pitying, weak
bedridden, inferior to Annie, who is in complete control.
She's powerful and she's in
powerless. Power. And that's every time we see them. Those are the shots that we get. The sheriff... Well done, Ryan. I love just sometimes reaching notes. The sheriff is being touched by Virginia in the car, but he asks her to stop. Stop touching me, I'm working. When we're working, you're my deputy, not my wife. I like this sheriff character.
That shatters.
Essays could be wrote about that man. He finds a broken tree and then he slides down the snow to investigate. Then he falls in a hole and is embarrassed, so he walks away.
I love how he's embarrassed by falling down, and every hope his wife is literally touching him when he's driving. And
he gets embarrassed by falling in the hole, so he stops what he was doing. He came so close to the car. The car was right beside him, buried.
And then it just gets back up and as if everything's fine. Like, go back down.
Then there's a really cool shot of him walking to his car, but it's from a distance, and the distance is getting closer and closer. It's Annie's POV.
Yep.
And as he passes, the POV changes and stays with to reveal Annie driving.
Yep, I noticed
Much
that.
like serial killers. As a man that likes his kind of true crimey shit, you'll know that serial killers very often go back to the scene of the crime to check on it.
They always did. They go back to the scene of the crime, they check all evidence, make sure there's nothing there, and then they go and they try and see if they can steal a bit of their identity or a bit of their DNA or something, just so they have that piece of the person. When they know where the person is, they still like to go and try and get a bit of the stuff so they can burn all evidence that it was them, so that they can fuck them up and then probably murdered.
Also for their own personal pleasure.
Yeah,
like,
obviously, yeah. Like,
I did that. Little sick kick they get. So she's driving past the scene of the crime just to see what's going on. She also drives past the sheriff, and it's just kind of interesting.
Yeah, I love how she's always just there. Like whenever the sheriff's there, she's always there in her car, just sitting there casually waiting. And something like
got to keep up on.
Yep.
There's only one guy that can basically ruin what she's done.
Yeah.
And that's him.
Like, I don't get annoyed at this movie at all in that, but one thing that did annoy me is how the fuck did the sheriff no clock that she was always there behind them? I know she was a wee bit in the distance and that, but like you said, there wasn't many cars in the movie as well.
Because there's not many characters, you would just see the same people over and over and over and over again, regardless. So
if you're looking at it like that, then I suppose, because
every day Annie is going to go into town.
Yeah.
Because she needs to get stuff to live.
Yeah.
And town, the only shop is right next to the police station. So if she's going to the shop, she's going to be... So they kind of get away with it by the fact that it's such a small, confined area. She comes in to meet Paul, having just bought the book Misery's Child. She explains how she spoke to the hospital, and once the road's open, an ambulance will come. And he's like, it's my daughter's birthday, can I please talk to her? And she's able to talk to her tomorrow. That is a man that wants to get home to his family and be kept by his family. His family of whom we never see.
Yeah, that
We
made me.
hear about his wife and his kids and how much he loves them.
But yeah, why
But
were they
we
never
never
actually
see
in the
them.
movie?
Well, he never sees them.
Yeah, like
We need to be in his shoes.
yeah, but
And
like
he never sees the family he
Yeah.
loves, so we never see the family
yeah,
that he loves.
but like why did these family once the roads did start clearing? Why did they not go into town and try and search for Paul themselves? If they
Because
knew
he
he
was announced as dead.
Oh, that's true.
It's a sad film. Anyway, she made him her speciality breakfast, right?
Right.
That is square slice on that. That is a Scottish bit of square slice on that plate. How did Scottish square slice get to Silver Lakes?
In the 1990s.
Anyway, the house in the middle of nowhere. Then a pig just decides to enter the room, and the pig pigs about for a bit, licks him and all that. Thank you. Right here, impersonations of Pennywise, impersonation of pigs. The pig's named Misery because this psychopath has named a pig Misery. But why has she named a pig Misery?
She had named the pig Misery because Misery is the name of her favourite character in his book, which is why when he wrote Misery 2, or whatever it was called, then when she found out that he had killed off Misery, that's when she got, I do not like this, you have to fix this. And that's when she goes batshit.
She lives on a depressing farm. She's got lots of animals around, and Paul, he just looks so unamused by the pig, especially because it's a fucking pig. Like, and it's called Misery.
Yep.
Like, why does he just wants to move on with his life? She tells him that the new book is better than amazing. It's divine, and she's only ever called two things divine. She imitates the noise of a pig to Paul and to Misery, and Paul again just lies in bed waiting for this to end.
Yeah, waiting for her to either put him out of his misery or just take out his face.
She then just has to listen to her rants. Her husband left her. She says, looking out the window, she so killed him. She thought she might go crazy when her husband left her.
As if she wasn't crazy already.
Exactly. She says that she dove into work at the nurse. Every conversation she has comes back to Misery. She's like, Misery, I found this and it saved me. Anyway, as this conversation was happening, he was peeing in a milk bottle. She then goes on this big rant that she's not anti-marriage, holding his piss.
Yep,
I'm not
shaking that out.
anti-marriage. If I just have to, people just don't respect it nowadays. There's no respect of real commitment. She goes out to find how the new book will end, mentioning commitment. And Paul right here is about to do two things. He's about to have wrote a book that ends his commitment to the Misery franchise.
Yep.
They've just spoke about commitment, and also proves that he never cared for the Misery franchise. He always wanted to do his own stuff, but he only made it because it made money.
Yes.
Money that allowed him to drive the fancy 65 Mustang. Money that allowed him to fund his daughter, allowed him to get the champagne.
Yep.
Hence the pig being called Misery, gluttony, pig, greed, boom, seven sins, pish. Paul's asleep at this point, and Annie enters the room, wakes him up. You dirty bird!
This is this now.
Misery is dead. She accuses him of murdering her. You killed Misery. And he's like, she's not real.
She's not real. She's fiction.
Right, and this is the first time. So every time we've seen Annie in the bedroom, she's been at the side of the bed, consoling Paul. Look up, down, shots. This is the first time that she is directly at the bottom of the bed, opposed to him, in a direct opposition and threat to him. She breaks a plant, smashes a stool, almost fucking mauls him with it. And he's like, you're just another lying old dirty birdie, and I can't be around you for a while. She says that she never called anyone, no one knows he's here, and if anything happens to her on her drive in the bad weather, if I die,
then you better hope that I don't die, because if I die, then you'll die.
Saw 3.
Yeah.
If I die, you die. Anyway, she then fucks off for a drive, and Paul, he tries exiting the bed, dragging himself to the floor, screaming in pain, and you feel this pain. He drags himself to the door, reaches up to the handle, right, and turns it, but it's locked, and he slips. The door is locked, right. This is one of my other favourite filmisms, but have you got something? Change page, not?
like, not on that part is from obviously about the paperclip.
We'll come to the paperclip shortly. He's reaching up, right? He's lying on the floor. He cannot get up because of his legs.
Yeah.
He's reaching up. His route out is just in his fingertips, but it slips away.
That is actually a really, really sad scene when you're working out because you can actually feel the pain and the emotion that he's actually gone through when he literally falls off the wheelchair. He's literally having to drag himself across.
It's also locked anyway, so he couldn't get out.
Like
It wasn't just.
It was such a sad scene.
The idea was between his fingertips.
But just the stupid psychotic bitch had to lock the door.
This is a movie in 1990, a book written in 1987, Stephen King, who wrote it about obsessive fandoms. That'll never be relevant. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. Hashtag release the Ayr Cut. My God, movie fans are pricks. And book fans are pricks. Stop gatekeeping your shit and just have fun. If you do not like something, do not threaten people. Like, have you heard the Snyder stories?
I've heard briefly of them, but I don't.
The Snyder Cut, and Zack Snyder has his little Snyder fanboys, and they review bombed movies not released by Zack Snyder. If DC released a movie, it might be a good movie, but if it wasn't a Zack Snyder one, they would review bomb it, just saying it's the worst thing ever. Go out of their way to force the rating to go down so folk wouldn't go and see it, just because it's not wrote by their director. Release the Snyder Cut. Release the Snyder Cut. They threatened to kill people essentially, and they called
That's fucked up.
they threatened to commit suicide, for etc. If the things were really, it was a bad old time. That's obsessive fandoms. That was 2016 to 2020.
So not too long ago.
No. And then when they got it, they treated it as the Holy Bible or some shit. Like, the movie fan, and the Star Wars has it worse. I do not believe there is a single fan of Star Wars that likes Star Wars. I think they like shit talking.
Yeah.
Specifically new Star Wars. Now, controversial take for those fuckers. New Star Wars is not good, but it's fine. It's not offensive. It doesn't ruin Star Wars. It makes money.
I've genuinely
Don't watch
seen a Star Wars movie.
Well, good.
I mean, I tried to watch one a good 7-8 years ago. Literally watched the first 10 minutes and I thought this is the biggest load of shit I've ever watched.
Folk that obsess over certain directors and shit, like, you can like them, but don't ride or die on them, because then if they change something and you take it personally.
Yeah. And there's something else that like, I get obviously, there's so many big Star Wars fans, but why the fuck do we need to have a day nominated to Star Wars? Like, what's the point in that? May the Fourth be with you.
That's inoffensive.
I know, but
it's a bit of fun.
I mean, it's a fun, but why did they have a day just dedicated to a day for Star Wars? It's not bad, but, I just don't see what the big whip is for it.
Annie then super close up, right? Super duper close up. Helps Paul back into the bed. She says that she's surprised, but has something he must do first. She then hard claims religion. She was like, I asked God what to do. So she brings him in a barbecue and his sacred bag. She genuinely feels in a barbecue and carrying his sacred bag, of which has the story, which she burns in front of him.
And that is the only copy he's got.
And she knows that's the only copy he's got because superstition. He made one copy of his first story and said, this will never get anywhere, and it made him everything he is. So since then, he cannot have more copies because then the book will flop if he does. But because he's claiming it's the only copy, she's then fine.
Burn that.
You do it. Yeah, she makes him burn his own book.
If you don't think she's a psycho yet, then why?
She says your mind won't be free until you light the match. She paces around, and as she does, she's accidentally covering him in lighter fluid. So essentially giving him two choices. Burn your work.
Or I'll burn you.
Or kill yourself. Yeah. Help me, help you. The twisted, warped mind of this woman. Paul's life is literally in his
the
hands.
of her.
Not in his hands.
Oh, yeah.
The light, the matches,
Yeah.
in his hands. If he drops that match on himself, he's fucked.
He's dead.
So, he burns the new book. He throws the thing into the book. And did you catch what he does here?
No.
She watches it burn. He
Yeah.
can't. He does not look at that book. He looks away.
No.
He looks away. That's his child. That's money.
That's his
That's
life.
his fucking
Life's
pension
work.
that
Yep.
he is setting
Yeah.
ablaze. He stares at the stealing.
Yep.
And then Annie leaves. And once Annie leaves, he turns over and looks at it.
Yep.
The embers of the book float down
Yeah.
onto him.
I think it's funny though. Obviously,
Which
that's not
matches
fun.
the snow outside, by the way. Sick shot.
I don't. It's not funny, obviously. You know, it's a sad scene that, but I think it's funny that she doesn't actually know how big the flame's going to be in that. Then when she's got in the rupture, she rolls it over to the curtains, and the curtains scratch fire. And she's like, no. And you go, what did you expect to happen? You literally just set a book on fire in a bedroom, so you wheel it over to a window with horrible looking curtains for the curtains to then catch fire for you to start panicking. Get your head out your ass, you bitch.
Seconds later, the police copter flies over. Hope flies away. He hides some pills under his mattress at this point.
Yep.
So the book he burnt in the film, we get a shot where we get to see a page of that book.
I actually clogged that the wee tiny bit of paper, the wee tiny bit in there.
What do you think's on this?
I have actually no clue.
It's an essay
Right?
about teen rom-coms.
An essay about teen rom-coms.
In it mentions Risky Business, The Graduate, Fast Times of Rye High, Say Anything. Like, what's happening? They're talking about John Cusack, research and writing. Cameron Crowe was the director of it. The movie hinted at something more serious than just the usual boy meets girl shenanigans. Look at this shit.
Risky Business, The Graduate, First Time Right.
That's the movie, that's the script that they burn. They just burn paper. That's fucking hilarious.
Where did you find that image?
Oh, you're pausing the movie, mate. Anyway, Annie's bedroom has a crap on TV, crisps, cluttered, and a big ass bottle of Coke. Big 2-litre one. Learning a bit about character. Once again, pig, gluttony, greed.
Yeah, literally, like the big giant bag of like Doritos, the big 3
Gluttony and greed.
litre cola, and then our room's all just covered in like
Cuts from that to his room, empty.
empty with
Water.
nothing.
Holes in the mattress. He slits a hole in the mattress and then puts the pill
pills.
in it. Healthy looking food, whereas hers not healthy. She's actually taking care of him,
And not
but
taking
not
care of
taking
herself.
care of herself. She got him an electric razor in a wheelchair. He continues to make jokes because he's just trying to make. It's one of those when you're in a shit situation, you just have to make the best of it.
Because if you don't, then you know you can't get worse for you.
She comes in with a desk and a typewriter. Misery returns, she says. I want you to write a new book, a book in her honour. And she wants nothing less than a masterpiece.
And if he doesn't give her it, then every single time he fucks up, she fucks a little bit of him up.
This view will inspire you,
Yes.
she says, poetic. And then he notices a hair clip on the floor.
Yep.
The typewriter has no N on it.
You know, I actually found an interesting thing about the typewriter. It's, where is it? Yep. Like one of Stephen King's first typewriters had a malfunctioning N key that was just like the one used by Paul in the movie. In the novel, the typewriter also drops its T and E keys, and those are the letters that are second and first mostly commonly used letters in the English language, respectively making Paul's job even tougher in the movie.
It's well done. It's well set. He's like, this paper smudges. And she's, but it's the most expensive, it must be the best. And he's like, no, I need actual paper. He demonstrates.
Yep. He gets a bit of paper and then it goes like... and
So
it's
she's like,
no.
fine then. Any other attachments you need to satisfy?
I'll
Then
go
she
get
yells at him, slams the paper on his injured legs,
Yep.
and then drives off to town. He gets the ear clip from the floor, uses a key, eventually gets the door open. Smart man.
Yep.
He's locked in. He tries all the doorknobs, and then he sees a phone, gets to the phone, but the phone
Is cut off. Because she knows.
The phone's just missing.
Yep.
An asshole, essentially.
I think it's like the bottom of Luke when he picks up on that, the bottom is just gone.
It's hollow.
It's just gone.
Then we get some short reverse shots in her car. We see Annie has more paper. She's in the car. She's heading home. As Paul leaves, he knocks a penguin toy over, catches it, sits it back the wrong way round. Then he sees the giant shrine to him and a book titled Memories. They're next to a picture of a man.
Yep.
Interesting. He sees all of the pills, and there are a lot of these red pills.
Yep.
He checks out the kitchen, which he struggles to fit into.
Yep.
We cut to Annie driving home. She's stone-faced. There's not a thought going through that
Yep.
woman's head.
She's just like...
Paul crawls to the door. It is very locked. Then he sees Chekhov's knife in the kitchen. Hears Hanny returning home, trying to get the keys. Sorry, the car pulls in. He speed crawls back to the chair and to the room. Her feet, right, so this shot, reverse shot, is fucking sick. Her feet is walking, is then cut to him wheelchairing.
Yep. And then
Brilliant shot.
he grabs a knife from the kitchen as well and he puts it down in his trousers.
Not yet.
Oh, is that
That's later on in the movie. We then get her unlocking the front door, and that's cut with him relocking himself in his captivity.
Yep.
Very good. He does some good acting. He sells that he needs his pills, that's why he's sweating and all that. She puts him in bed, gives him a notepad and pencil for ideas, blows him a kiss. He then catches it, puts the pills in his mattress that he didn't swallow. The police helicopter, do you get in it about that?
Yeah. Like the police helicopter, they were saying that like we'll keep searching that, and if
Yeah.
there's nothing else beyond here, we'll just circle back.
The man flying the police helicopter is...
Was the sheriff.
No, the sheriff's in it, but the man flying it is the director, Rob Reiner,
No
slipping
way,
in
is
for
that
a
true?
little
I never knew that. That's actually
hello.
nice.
Yeah. Paul
Catch.
pulls the pill and stuff in a wee paper pocket he made. Sure.
Yeah.
He consumes the Shelley bit. He stares at a blank page and types, fuck, 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 fuck. And he comes into so wrong to the script. She likes that he named the gravedigger after her.
But
Nice.
she didn't like anything else.
And then she keeps calling him Mr. Man.
Yep.
And he explains Rocket Man.
Yeah.
Because the ending changed the next time that she went to see it. Key scene for her here. She knows the books better than he does and tells her where to start. No half-assing it. She reads another draft across from him. She is elated with the story because it's so good. It confirmed all of her theories that he just keeps saying you'll have to wait anytime she asks a question. Misery's alive.
Yep.
She's going to put on Liberace.
Yep. Like, I do right here. Like, Misery is alive. Misery is alive. Oh, this whole house is going to be full of romance. Oh, I'm going to put on my Liberace records.
You like Liberace, right?
Liberace.
Yeah, you like Liberace, she asks. He's like, dinner with me tonight. And this that we get, my favourite kind of movie. Two people playing chess. Just two very smart people trying to outsmart each
One another.
other. The deputy accuses Buster of having an affair. Not going anywhere, but I'm loving the insight into this man who fidgets with elastic bands, declined sexual activity in a car, and may or may not be having an affair with very little people in the town.
I mean, there's literally, like we said, there's only Rob Schneider that's flying the helicopter.
Rob Reiner.
But he said, well, Rob Reiner flying the helicopter, the sheriff's wife, like Annie and Paul, genuinely the 5 people. So if he's having an affair, maybe he was a bit gay. Because there's
declined sex.
There's literally the only other person.
Declined sexual activity.
Literally, and then he's saying he might be having an affair. There's only one other man in the movie.
They go for dinner. Nice shot, two of them opposed to each other. She's all dressed up and nervous. He's got a nice shirt on. He pours her some wine. Too much. She hints to not liking alcohol here.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, that's too much. They have a toast to misery. He asks for candles to do this, right? As she's away, he slips the powder from the pouch into her wine. She finds a candle, lights it to misery and to Annie Wilkes. Her wine is accidentally spilled over, as they say.
But was it actually an accident, or did she do it on purpose? Because when I was watching it, I'm thinking to myself, did she know that he was maybe up to something? Did she got that sixth sense?
Two people playing chess, trying to outsmart each other. Yes,
Yeah.
She was probably very well aware.
That he was trying to drug her.
Yes, and also she doesn't really drink.
Yes, because nothing in this movie is really an accident.
Happy little accident, you could say. She then pulls another one, they toast. We then get a montage as Paul types and Annie reads with her pig. Time's progressing. Writing with a typewriter. Like, writing must be annoying with a typewriter.
I know, especially since it's like, do. The fingers must get really painful.
And what if you make a mistake?
Exactly. There's no.
That's why they always are ripping out pages and throwing away. If you make a misspelled word,
then that's fucked up.
When's this movie set?
1990, 1991, maybe.
Who's typewriters then?
I
mean, in the middle of the fucking Silver Lake Creek, whatever we are, we're not exactly going to have the internet, I suppose.
I mean, but like, I suppose like, even through the Second World War and all that, people were writing letters to the loved ones. There wasn't ever really typewriters back then, and that was a long time ago, so.
The amazing montage that we just got, by the way, the music and all that, ends to the thunderstorm notes. It's very well edited, that. Annie then sadly comes in and says that rain gives her the blues. She looks depressed. She says she loves all of Paul. She knows he doesn't love her. You'll never know the fear of losing someone you like if you're someone like
her.
Me.
Yep.
The book's almost finished. His legs are getting better. He's going to have to go soon.
That's what you would think. Yep. And then she pulls out. She's got the blues, and she walks into Paul's room with a gun.
Sometimes I consider using it. I might go put bullets.
Yeah. But like, good night.
She goes into the rain in her dressing gown with the gun and drives away.
Like, why the fuck does she just randomly leave the house at like 2 o'clock in the morning?
So now Paul armours up, and that's when he gets the knife that he saw in the kitchen. And we get to see that the sheriff is reading the misery books in bed. Very entertaining sequence. Paul looks at the scrapbook of memory lane, and it's Annie as a kid.
Yeah.
Banker Carol Wilkes plunging to death. More than likely her first husband there. A nursing student dying.
Accident? I think not.
Annie became successful after this. There's a newspaper snippet in here which is like she was the top of her class.
She was like really clever and all that.
Smart. Helps with this human trash. Anyway, the paediatrician dies. Baby gets killed. Another baby. Infants just keep dying. She gets arrested. But she luckily gets out of prison for these events.
Yeah.
Anyway, he goes back and lies in bed. Practices pulling the knife out from his sling. The car pulls up to the house. The audio cue was brilliant here. I love this bit. So we've got sheriff investigating. We've got Annie goes away. We establish he's in bed practicing pulling the knife out. We hear a car, but we don't see who's in the car, because every time we've held the car, we've cut to Annie getting out of the car for tension. This time there's more tension to stay, because this very well could have been the sheriff coming to save him.
Yep.
But also, when she comes in, he's going to go full psycho on her. Anyway, the person enters, doesn't enter the room, and Paul puts the knife under his mattress. He awakes to her standing over him. Lightning, thunder, she injects him.
Yeah.
He tries to get up and move, but can't. She says, I know you've been out. She straps him down. She noticed the moved penguin. He hunts for the knife, she pulls it out, and she says she found his key. She explained her scrapbook. Time will help with being here. She explains hobbling.
No.
She places the wooden block between his hands.
What is hobbling again?
It's a thing they used to do in the mines. If workers were trying to protest or get out of it, they'd hobble the enforcer to work. She gets the sledgehammer out, soft music plays. First foot gets it. So does the second. We get a super close. God, I love you.
Yep. That was how painful it was as well. See this simulator. It's like a big giant sledgehammer as well. Poor bastard.
The noises.
Like, they had some seriously really good sound effects in this movie. For the time, it was really fucking good.
I love shunting movies and moments. See just one really fucked up bit that you're never going to forget, and that's the hobbling. I was shown this and had to write an essay about this one scene at school. It was a good time. That's one of the times I've recently caught the movie. I tried to find the essay, but I couldn't find it. So I'll move past that thought and just, you can hypothetically think about Ryan Robertson. I might find it one day and I'll post it on the Gallus page. Annie shouts at a guy in town and the sheriff sees her, hears her. He at the library checks old paper clips and sees the image of Annie going to prison. She got out innocent after quoting a misery book. That was the line the sheriff footnoted in bed earlier. Why is she called the Dragon Lady?
No clue.
Paul flips Annie off out of the window.
That's up for saying. She's like, He's just got.
The sheriff checks up on the shopkeeper who sold all the books and paper, so he then drives to the Wilkes house. She injects Paul, puts him in the basement. She opens the door to the sheriff. She then nerds out about Paul's life before being that's plenty.
Yep.
Just-
Then sensing that, you know, the world and God just getting her sent to say that she was to be the next Paul Sheldon.
The sheriff tricks her into separating. He goes upstairs into her room. She appears behind him with cocoa, definitely poisoned.
Yep.
He declines, goes to leave, and he's wearing 2 belts.
Yeah. I noticed that as well.
Thought he's wearing
Aye.
2 belts. Paul makes some noises. The sheriff returns and goes down, sees him. He's like, "It's you." Then he gets shotgunned through him. Once again, right? Another shot. He's at the bottom of a staircase. Freedom is at the top of the staircase. But what's between him? A staircase that he has to get up. Once again, that's the 3rd time in the movie. We've had 3 hope spots, right?
Yeah.
Wrestling psychology. In wrestling, you do moves and you have hope spots where the good guy might get back into the fight against the bad guy.
Yep.
You do 3 of them, and on the 4th one, the good guy gets back into it. So we have had 3 hope spots. We've had the door handle locked. We've had the
Yep.
helicopter flying
Flying
over,
over.
and now we've had Brighton
The
sees the
basement.
the man. So Brighton dictates the 4th time he should get his hope spot in. She
Yep.
walks down the stairs. Her up top, him low down. Once again, wee bit of religious parallel in here. She monologues about I guess now we're going to have to plan a murder-suicide.
Yep.
That's our plan. He says, "I love you too," and Romeo and Juliet. So he says that they must die. So she says, you must die, so misery must live. You must
Yeah.
finish the book." And the idea of these 2 things excite Annie. She goes away, and he types away, writes the final chapter, and says that he will need 3 things
Yep.
before he finishes this
the
book.
3 things is no, she doesn't say the 3 things. She said, "Oh, you'll need a glass of champagne, your cigarette, and was that a shirt?
Well, matches to light the cigarette. That's 4
Yeah.
things, Paul.
And
You dumb
matches to light
fuck.
the cigarette."
She
Yep.
goes, gets it, he's close to completing it. It's such a well-framed wide shot here. He calls her back through as he's almost done. He asks for the celebration ritual to begin. It's brought through in a train, pistol in pocket too
Yep.
by Annie. Did I do good? He says this time he will need 2 glasses.
And she's like, "Oh, Paul."
He sets the scene, threatening to burn the new book. All the answers to
Yep.
every mystery in Misery, he burns it.
Yep, right in front of her face, and that makes her go ballistic.
Breaks Annie. He smashes the typewriter over her head and they scuffle. This makes her eyes bleed. He gets shot on the shoulder. She spears him through the ground. They roll around. He smashes her head into the book, into the embers. This is everything you live for. Feeds it to her. You enjoy Misery now.
Literally shoves
Feeding
that in her mouth.
Misery to her. She then kicks him in the balls. He trips her, and her face smashes on the typewriter. Neck broke. Deed.
Bitch got what she had coming.
We saw this from a super high angle of the entire room, and that was amazing. He then crawls away, and then, you always got to double tap the moment when the supposedly dead killer comes out. She jumps back on top of it, and he finds Misery the pig, but as an iron, and he ends her with that. Clonks her in the head with that, this time killing her, and she falls on top of him. And then the religious imagery, for the first time, lie beside each other. A massive part of his life has just been killed, and she is now dead. Classic Stephen King coming up here. Epilogue, 18 months later, New York. Walking Stick Paul talks to his agent about his new critically acclaimed book, a book he didn't write for someone else, he wrote for himself. And he says in some way the Annie Wilkes experience helped him. The agent asks if he'll turn that into a non-fiction book. Then Annie turns the corner as a waitress, knife in hand.
Yep.
But it was a hallucination. It was just a random lady who claims to be her #1 fan. Classic Stephen King here.
Yep.
I'll be seeing you, and all the old familiar faces plays over the end credits. What a song by Liberace.
Yep. And that concludes Misery.
What's your thoughts on the movie Misery?
It's really good. See, from the first, because I've seen so many different clips now, and obviously people making spoofs and that, but see, actually watching the movie, it actually did really interest me. It had a really strong storyline. It had a nice twist. I liked the fact that it wasn't over the top. and it wasn't really so many people in that, so there was a really nice strong storyline connection
Sense
between
of
these two
character.
people. Yep,
Yeah.
two really strong characters.
Two characters playing chess. It's Rear Window.
Yep.
It's
So it's a
Hitchcock.
really strong movie. It ended in good time. It didn't play on it, didn't drag on that, you know.
Oh, no,
And
it's perfect.
they got the revenge way it deserved, and everything worked out really well in the end. So yeah, really enjoyed it. What about you?
Oh, I think it's a flawless movie.
It's a
It
great
really
movie.
is. It's a character study of two characters, one that you can study, one that you can't.
Yeah,
And I am here for everything Misery. I think it's a flawless
Yeah.
film. As I said before, I sign off with a few final things. I'm just going to run through some differences from the book.
Yep.
If there's any notes you haven't had
I
a chance
think,
to read out, feel free to read them out. But in the book, she used an axe to cut off his feet instead of the
Oh.
sledgehammer. And then she cuts his thumb off later on. And in the book, they meet in a different way.
How do they meet in the book?
Where are we for the book? In the book, it becomes in the book, Paul, that it becomes clear that Annie isn't caring. Essentially, she's not caring in the book. The actual character of Misery was this like liberal, free woman in the movie. Sure, but the book goes into like such detail about Misery. So there's so Paul has a hatred towards the character Misery in the book, which didn't have a chance. The fire was different. The book's version, the character burns unrelated papers. So Paul at the end burns a bunch of nonsense, not the actual book. He had the book under the mattress, and then at the end, after she's dead, publishes the real book. The film version, he does destroy the actual book. Yeah, just some general things like that. The sheriff, he was a bit different. Where are we? He gets stabbed and run over by a lawnmower in the book,
Oh. It's a bit,
casually.
it's a lot different from the movie.
It had a different location, and at the end, in the book, Annie hits her head on the typewriter, but rather than attacking him again, she climbs through the window, attempts to get a chainsaw to kill him. Before she can get the chainsaw, she just drops dead. The book is also a lot more horror.
I was gonna say it sounds a lot more gruesome, a lot more
Yeah.
scarier than the actual movie itself.
Did you have any notes we hadn't had a chance to seamlessly bring up in conversation?
Misery is based on a novel by Stephen King, and Kathy Bates actually won an Oscar for the best actress for the role as Annie Wilkes.
Damn right she did.
I think that's the only note that I didn't cover. But other than
I think
that,
that was
no,
mentioned at some point. What a movie.
what
I
a
am
great movie indeed.
very glad we've spoke about it for
Yeah.
the podcast. It was everything that we needed for a kind of film at this stage.
And there was a nice change for like the
The usual more fun stuff.
I like the fact this one was a lot more serious and darker.
I love
in a sense.
psychological thriller. I have to write one for uni.
Oh,
We have to, need to use inspiration from Alfred Hitchcock for a class, and this movie was inspired by the work of Hitchcock. So for me, I'm going to be using this movie as inspiration
That's
for
a
my
good way to look at it.
film, and it'll also be what I use to give you some script notes for the script that you're processing at the
And
moment.
you're
I'm
co-directing with
looking
me?
greatly forward to seeing where that script turns out
Oh,
and where the movie
same.
ends up.
Yep. Hopefully I can get a move on with it.
Thank you very much for watching this podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you very much
Thanks,
for listening
guys.
to this podcast. I hope you have a lovely day.
Yeah, enjoy your day and night. And
Fuck Scotrail.
yeah. Fuck you, Scotrail.